May 8th, 1970, 49 years ago to the day, Clyde Frazier, an epic Game 7, 36 points, 19 assists. This, of course, a game when Willis Reed made the dramatic entrance down the tunnel and hit the first two baskets of the game after missing Game 6 and getting hurt in Game 5. The Clyde Frazier and the Knicks able to win their first championship with a Game 7 win over the Lakers back with Hahn. Can't believe it is 49 years ago. And we have a special treat because we're going to use our video call center to go to St. Croix and join our buddy, Walt Frazier. Clyde, thanks so much for being here. When you think back to that special night back in 1970, what do you think about?
I was young, rich, and famous.
Well, what about your performance in that game?
No, that's perfect. That's perfect. He's right. He was young, rich, and famous. Now he's a little bit older, rich, and famous. It's okay.
How's the weather down there?
Guys, I have a different garden that I'm doing my thing in these days.
But you know, Clyde, when you think about that game,
my coconut tree, my palm tree. But no, when I think of that game, I think of Willis Reed. Game 6, I think Chamberlain had like 40 points and 20 rebounds because Willis didn't play. So for Game 7, we didn't know whether Willis would play or not. So that was our whole thought when we went over to the Garden. Would Willis play? And we didn't know when we went on the court if he would play or not. Everyone thought it was premeditated that we knew that, but we were just as flabbergasted as the crowd was when we saw Willis come on the court.
Now, the game has always been about, here comes Willis. But, Clyde, you had one of the great performances in the history of NBA Finals Game 7s or any Game 7s you can think of with the 38-19. When you were playing in that game, did you say to yourself, I've got to raise my game, or did it just happen in the flow because of how good of a team you were playing on and that was your night? Or were you telling yourself, no, I've got to raise my game?
In the playoffs, whenever we leave the locker room, Holtzman always pulls me over to the side. So if we're playing the Bullets, he'll say, hey, Clyde, forget about offense. Just focus on defense on Earl. This night, he told me, hey, Clyde, hit the open man. So when I went out to the court, that was my goal was to hit the open man, but as the game progressed, I was the open man.
Clyde, when you look back as we talk about present day and the present day Knicks, you obviously have had a lot of time here to think about the season, getting ready for a very important offseason. What are you thinking about what you've seen and what you hope to see come draft time?
Well, obviously, we're in a position to win it. You got to be in it to win it. So we have the cap space. We have a good draft choice, so now we need a little luck. That's why I like what they did with Patrick. Patrick was the last guy in 1985, since we had this type of hoopla and pageantry. So hopefully Patrick can bring the luck that we need to get these guys.
You were there on the dais a couple of years ago representing the team. What is that like? Is it nerve-wracking to sit there? Well, what's Patrick going to go through while sitting there like you did back in 2017?
Well, I'm sure like me, it was a great honor. I've been around a long time. I'd never sat there. So when Phil Jackson called me, I couldn't believe it. I was very excited and obviously very disappointed that I could not deliver. So hopefully Patrick can.
Clyde, take us through a typical day for you in St. Croix.
I usually get up around 8. My workers come, and I go to 3 o'clock, guys. I take an hour for lunch. And like now, when I finish talking to you, I have to go to Home Depot, pick up supplies. So a long day.
Wait, what kind of supplies do you have to pick up?
I got to see this.
I have to pick up lumber. I have to pick up doors. I have to pick up toilets, all type of stuff. Sliding glass mirrors. So it's a labor of love. I really like designing, decorating, landscaping. So that's pretty much what I do most of the day.
Hey, Clyde, before we let you go, we have Cam Smith, who's part of our show here. He actually played ball at Southern Illinois, and he wants to say hello.
Clyde,
say hello to Clyde.
Clyde, they have the GOAT here, so I have to make sure that I get a conversation and a question in for the GOAT when it comes to Southern Illinois basketball, man. It's great to meet you. A big fan. That number 52 jersey, the first jersey retired in SIU history, and we drew motivation from seeing your jersey in the rafters. But I always thought, why did he choose the number 52? So you got to let me know the story behind that and why you chose 52.
Well, in college, I was a forward. I actually played forward. I averaged 10 rebounds and like 18 points. So that's how I came up with the number 52. Everyone liked to know how I got the number 10. So first time I checked into the Knicks, Danny Whalen was the Knicks trainer. And he looked at me and said, "Hey, Frazier." He threw me number 10.
Tell you guys from Southern Illinois are great guys. We got Clyde, we got Cam Smith. Clyde, thank you so much for taking the time here to join us from St. Croix, and hopefully we'll talk to you soon, okay?
Hey, next week. You're going to see me next week, man.
All right.
Clyde.
And Cam,
Get to Home Depot.
way to get in here.
Yeah, I had to. That's the GOAT. I got to get into a conversation with the GOAT.